Breaking news update. Over the weekend, a major security incident took place at the Charlie Kirk Memorial. Authorities arrested 42-year-old Joshua Wrlles at State Farm Stadium after he was allegedly armed and presented fake police officer credentials to the Secret Service. Investigators say the false identification was made under the name of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina. Wrlles is originally from Nebraska, has lived at several addresses across the U.S., and is currently based in North Carolina with his wife Sarah. Reports also link him to a group called ATP Ministries. During his court appearance, a Turning Point USA spokesperson stated that Wrlles had no official communication or coordination with their organization or with the Secret Service. Officials emphasized that this case highlights the growing concern of security threats at public events nationwide.
After an incident at State Farm Stadium, this happened Friday ahead of tomorrow's memorial for Charlie Kirk.
Police say he was armed and acting suspiciously. Fox 10's Nicole Christine joins us live with details. Nicole.
Well, good afternoon, Ashley and Brian. Police say this man, identified as Joshua Wrlles, is from North Carolina, and he was claiming that he was working security here a couple days before the memorial for Turning Point USA. Now, we do have an updated statement from a Turning Point USA spokesperson, Andrew Colvette. He posted this statement on Twitter, quote, "I want to add a note of clarity here. This individual was doing advanced security for a known guest, planning to attend the memorial service tomorrow. We do not believe this person was attempting anything nefarious. However, the advance was not done in proper coordination with the TPUSA security team or U.S. Secret Service. Also important to note, this was before the site had been fully sealed and locked down. Every precaution is being taken to ensure everyone's safety." Now, Wrlles reportedly has a concealed carry permit from North Carolina and showed officers a Franklin County Sheriff's Office badge, but they say he is not a law enforcement officer. He allegedly told police his company, ATP Ministries, is conducting security detail for the memorial. Because this wasn't something they were able to confirm, police arrested Wrlles for impersonating a police officer and carrying a weapon into a prohibited place. He appeared in court and was later released on bond. We haven't heard from law enforcement regarding this update that he was allegedly there doing security detail, but they had said an investigation was underway to find out Wrlles' intent and purpose on the property. And based on what we can tell from court documents, it seems Turning Point USA was the group that he was supposed to have as a liaison to speak with Secret Service and other security personnel. So at this time, it's really unclear where this communication breakdown did happen. But again, he has been released, and now we are hearing from Turning Point USA that he may, in fact, have been, allowed to be on the property there, but didn't go through the proper procedures to get that access and approval that was needed here on site.
All right. On that note, Nicole, security clearly top of mind for this big event. What do we know about the access for the general public into the stadium?
Yeah, so we've been reporting this week that Homeland Security has said this is getting the highest level of security possible. Of course, Secret Service is here because President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance are going to be here. So we have seen already out here today, we've seen some barriers being put into place. We've seen some road closures already. We've had some members of the public that have come up and asked us some questions about where they can park tomorrow, what kind of access they'll have to that. And really, one of the things that we've been told by authorities is that some of that information, some of the parking access, things like that, they've been a little vague about because they want to be careful of any potential violent extremists. This is an event that is going to be very, high profile. And of course, we've seen over the past week just how divisive this entire topic has been for people. So, in light of that, high security here, some things for people to remember: no bags allowed. It's not even a clear bag policy. It's no bags at all. If you wanted to bring in flowers or any other mementos, those are not going to be allowed in. Parking, they say, is going to be very limited. They want people to be expecting delays, and they want people to know that carpooling is probably the best option because these car parks are going to open tomorrow morning, but they're going to probably fill up fast. We know over 60,000 people can fit in State Farm Stadium, but they are anticipating, we've heard, even as many as 100,000 people showing up for this memorial. So it's going to be a very busy day, and we spoke with Glendale Police yesterday about how they're going to be handling this.
We're going to be fully staffed, so that's going to include our SWAT team, our drone program, our officers that are going to be out conducting traffic, to include officers that are specially trained to deal with groups that are protesting or conveying a message.
Yeah, so of course, from Secret Service to state law enforcement to there you heard from Glendale PD, they're going to be on site as well. Just several levels of security for this high-profile event.
All right, so I did some digging into ATP Ministries. From what I found, it appears to be a nonprofit organization with a stated mission of setting captives free physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Now take a look at this. Their page shows posts that suggest possible connections. For example, they've shared content related to Victor Marx and events like the Patriot Academy Constitution Conference. They even posted the Charlie Kirk event flyer, the same event where the man impersonating an officer was taken into custody. Alongside that, they've shared updates about other speakers linked to the event, such as Pastor Jeff Hunt, Heidi Ganol, and Victor Marx. So the big question becomes, were they representing Victor Marx in some capacity? Could Wrlles have been there providing security connected to him? That's still unclear, but these links definitely raise questions. It's now been confirmed that Charlie Kirk tragically lost his life after being shot at a rally in Utah. Supporters describe him as someone who only wanted to bring truth and be a light in the world. Many are asking for prayers for Eric, his widow, and their 2 children, as well as for the security team that went through this traumatic event. Authorities have stated that the shooter is in custody. People close to the case are calling it an act of evil, pointing out how rare it is to see someone willing to risk everything in order to stand up for their beliefs. Charlie Kirk himself wrote the foreword for a book connected to this group, and those who knew him say he lived out the very values he spoke about. Supporters believe that even in tragedy, his message will not be silenced. Now here's where the story connects. It appears that the individual arrested for impersonating an officer, Joshua Wrlles, may have been providing security linked to ATP Ministries. On the surface, his intentions may have seemed good, but the issue is serious. He allegedly presented fake law enforcement credentials to the Secret Service, including a badge tied to the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina. That raises major questions. Why was someone connected to ATP Ministries carrying false identification? Was it a misunderstanding or something more concerning? Authorities know that fake IDs and fake credentials can be used by bad actors to access secure spaces, whether for intelligence gathering or worse. Maybe Wrlles will speak out, or ATP Ministries will issue a statement. Perhaps they weren't even aware and were misled about who he really was. Still, the fact remains, impersonating an officer is a crime. In this climate, where security threats are on the rise, this situation is alarming. Was Wrlles just caught making a reckless mistake, or was there a bigger plan that got stopped in time? Investigators say he was acting suspiciously when the Secret Service approached him, armed and carrying a fake badge. These are the questions people are asking. Is there more to this, or was it simply nothing? We'll keep covering the ongoing security concerns across the country. Stay safe and stay tuned for further updates.